Good afternoon, Facebook world. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're enjoying the VE celebrations and hope you're safe as well. It's a lovely day. It's quite mucky actually, and I'm sitting here in a suit. But it's good because I'm here to talk to you guys about booking a magician. So it's lovely to see you all here, and I hope you're all well, really. Hope everything's going well. And yeah, so my name's Ricky. If you haven't met me before, then I'm a wedding magician, and I specialize in creating memories that will last a lifetime. And the idea of this is to understand that during a wedding, during a day, there are lots of different moments in the day where there's little pockets, which we would call lulls. And if you've ever been to a wedding before, you would have experienced that it can be very, very long. And what's really good with having a magician is that you can create a great, exciting atmosphere. Now, unfortunately, I was going to show you some slides and I tried to connect my Zoom account and for some reason it just won't work. So instead, we're going to try and do a little bit of a share screen and see if this works in a second. And all being well, we're going to see if we can try some live magic over Zoom. So, and over Facebook. So we'll see how this goes. But anyway, I hope you're well. If there is any questions throughout this, then obviously just please put them in the comments down below. There is probably about a 10-second delay with Facebook anyway. So if you do have any questions, pop them down below and we'll go from there. So, yeah, so basically then I wanted to talk to you, introduce myself, and I'll explain a little thing about magic because it's not the first thing that you often think about when booking a magician. So, if you've ever been to a wedding, I'm sure you have experienced where you turn up and it just seems to be a bit of a boring time, or there's something missing from that. And I'm going to explain a couple of scenarios to you that you've probably all shared. This is a traditional approach to a wedding. A couple will turn up. Obviously, everybody turns up. They've traveled all across the UK, all across the world, wherever it might be, to turn up for this one special day. And then what happens is the happy couple get married. It's a beautiful ceremony. And then they get whisked away. And the photographer will take them to one side and they get those loving photos, which you'll then frame up on the wall. But at this point, if you've ever been to a wedding, you would have experienced this. And if you haven't been to a wedding, then I'll explain. It's a bit of a boring time, really. And you've usually got about an hour and a half, up to about 2 hours, where there's just a bit of a lull moment where people do this. And they'll think about food. They might be really hungry. They'll be talking about the work. They'll be talking about the weather. They'll be talking about all this mundane, boring stuff. And it's just a really, really good time to create something with a little bit of fun and a little bit of excitement. And that's why booking a magician is really, really important. But anyway, first, to kind of introduce to you who I am, my name's Ricky. This is my banner behind me. And I'm a professional wedding magician. I've been performing magic for about 15 years now, and about 5 or 6 years now I've been in the wedding industry, and I absolutely love it. Performing magic at a wedding is one of the best times to do it because it's just a great day. It's a very happy day. It's one of the most special days in people's lives, and everybody's there to have a great day. It's not one of those boring corporate events or one of those boring parties that you have to go see Uncle Harry that you don't really know, but instead it's one of those days where we all turn up for good tidings, really. So yeah, so basically for me, I started out in the wedding industry. It's probably about 6 years ago now, and I've always done different gigs, different parties, and that kind of thing. And I the first kind of got into the wedding industry because I wanted to kind of do something different. If you've ever Googled or searched for magicians, you will find there are some really cheesy magicians, top hats, rabbits, doves, you name it, it's on there. And whenever you think of a magician, you will think that it's not right for a wedding, right? It's not the first thing that you think of straight away. And I'm going to try and explain to you my kind of approach to magic and show you some of the stuff that I've got on my banner to kind of give you the idea of what a more modern approach to a wedding is. If you've ever seen magicians on TV, that is what we would call probably stage magic or TV magic. The magic that I perform is close-up magic. And close-up magic is where I'll perform, ironically, it's COVID, which we can't really do right now, but once it's all settled, within about 1 meter, 2 meters distance, in groups of 5, 6, 1s, 2s, it doesn't really matter. But I do a variation of tricks, card tricks, coin tricks, tricks with borrowed items, pickpocketing, hypnosis. Although I don't really recommend hypnosis and pickpocketing for weddings, I can do that on request if needed be. But it's a really cool thing to do because as I said, there are just so many moments in the day that it just creates a bit of a lull, and there's a bit of a boring kind of period between times. There are optimum times for booking a magician in a wedding. The first one that I would highly recommend is the drinks reception. The drinks reception is the same. It's about an hour and a half. I'd probably say an hour and a half up to 2 hours, depending on how many guests you've got. If you're a wedding that has lots of guests, you might find your drink reception could be about 2 hours, because they generally take a little bit longer to prepare the wedding breakfast for you. But the drink reception usually traditionally is about an hour and a half up to 2 hours. But I would highly recommend this is an optimum time for it, because, as I said, this is that moment where if you've booked a photographer or videographer and the weather's really nice like it is today, they will want to take you on the grounds, get your family portraits, photos, Uncle Bob, Uncle Harry, whoever it might be, and all of your guests will stand around. And if you haven't got anything booked or any kind of engagement or entertainment, then there's a bit of a moment where people start to go, what do we do? And that's where I would come in. So I would come round, I'd be performing close-up magic to all the guests. It's just a seamless and natural transition. I literally will turn up and just kind of introduce myself to the staff, and I'll then head round and start performing magic to everybody. And it's just a great way to raise that conversation. It makes sure that you have a bit of peace of mind as well, because as a couple, you'll probably be quite stressed out, thinking, oh, my guests having a great time. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Are people happy? Are they having a good time? And it's just a really good time, because I will come in and I'll make sure all of those guests are having a great time, and it will raise that conversation up. So when they go into the wedding breakfast, they'll be talking about, oh my God, have you seen that magician? Yeah, that was really good, really good. I'm having a great time. So that's just the first one. The second one is what we'd say at the end of the wedding breakfast and the evening turnover. This can be a massive lull as well, because if you've got a 3-course meal, by the end of that 3rd course, people are a bit stuffed. They go, oh, like that. And it's just a general time where people want a bit of a break. They might want a nap if they've had too much or too much sweets. And there's a great opportunity here to raise the energy in the room, because what people will do is they'll have that lull and they're wondering what happens next, or, oh, we've got 2 hours now until the evening dancing. What do we do now? At that point, some guests might be checking into other rooms. You might have guests arriving about, say, 7 o'clock at night, and they don't tend to really know much what's gone on in the day, or they may not have, they don't really know too many people in the day. So they'll kind of hang around in their own kind of period or in their own kind of cliques. So it's a great way for me to bring the guests together again, raise the energy back up after that meal. I would tend to say that the last course is a great time for this, because it's usually the course that might be a cold dish like some ice cream, toffee pudding, whatever it might be. And it's not too bad that if I'm there performing at the tables. I don't often recommend performing magic at the actual tables during the 1st course and the 2nd course, not all the time, because the main course especially is when it's the hottest meal, or the meal that everybody's been waiting for, and people just don't want to see me. They do not want to see me performing magic and coming around the tables when they want to have their hot food. So that's why I'd always recommend what I call the evening wedding breakfast kind of turnover time. It's a great moment. It usually lasts about 2.5 up to 3 hours, and that will go right up to when the first dance starts, and then that is party time. Party time, everybody kicks in, DJ kicks off, and we're away, and nobody wants to listen to magic at that point. So that's the 2 main opportunities. There is a 3rd one as well. The 3rd one is the combination, which is magic during the drinks reception, magic in the evening reception as well, and loads of other pockets in the day, so a little bit around the table, but covering magic throughout the day. Now, with my package as well, as a 3rd option, I also do a Master of Ceremonies as well. So with my personality, with my nature, I'll come in, I'll make sure that the plans fall in line seamlessly, and using a bit of engagement, we'll be doing games like Mr. and Mrs. We'll be doing games like icebreakers, energizers in the room. So, for example, at the end of the wedding, at the end of the drinks reception, a photographer might keep you back just to get those last few minute shots, and I can be there on hand just to help you out, and I'll help all the guests get the energy up in the room, clapping, cheering, whooping, so that when the happy couple just comes in, everybody's ready, they're clapping, they're cheering, they're not doing this. It's a really, really good thing to do. On top of that as well, I do other things as well. So where I do like a little video montage as well. It's really important to me that as a couple who's getting married, you may not see me quite a lot of the day because you'd probably say that a magician is more for the guests because the guests are there to be entertained. You'll be so busy during the day that you'll be talking to the photographer, you'll be talking to family that you haven't seen. But it is really important to me that I do something special for you. So like the pictures on my banners, it's really important to me that at the end of the booking, whether it's the drinks reception or the evening reception, I'll do something for you. Now, depending on your personality, whether you're quite quiet people, like introverted, or loud, extravagant people, extroverted, it doesn't really matter. But I'll tailor my packages to you. For instances, I'm quite happy to perform a trick like Becca and Isaac this side. I can't do this with a mirror approach. Like Becca and Isaac, they wanted a big performance in front of everybody at the top table. And so I said, yep, no problem. And we did this special 5-minute presentation. It was lovely. And it was a big round of applause. And it was just a nice way to kind of break up the day, but also kind of segment that across. So that's a really, really good thing to do. The other opportunity would be is if you're not the center of attention, and I know, like my fiance, she would absolutely die if I asked her to be the center of attention for 10 minutes, then what we can do is do it another way where we might take you outside. We might want to get the photographer involved and get a nice little photo as well. So there's a couple of photos that I can share or talk to you on Instagram or on my Zoom session straight after this. Click on the link. Obviously, I'll put a link in the comments in a second. But yeah, so that's a really, really good time to do it as well. So if you don't like the big, full attention, then we can do that quite intimately as well. But yeah, so that's kind of a little bit about me, really. And I think we've got a couple of people watching. So if I can just see to people. Oh, yeah, there's quite a few people. Hello, people. Hope you're well. I can see Stephanie, Gemma, Sonia, Tanya, Jessica, Lisa, Sandy, Hannah, Gabrielle, Rachel, and Rachel Bennett. Hi, guys. Yeah, hope you're well. So, so that's basically a little bit about what I'm doing, really. And I was going to prepare this massive presentation for you to show you a couple of pictures because, as I said, if you do Google magicians, you will see some really cheesy, weird magicians. And I might have just slandered every single magician in the world there, and I hope I haven't. But we are a bit of a one of a kind. But for me, I want to convey to you all that, the magic isn't about the trick or anything like that. The magic is about the experience that you have. And what I want to convey to you all is this feeling that you can rest assured that your wedding will just be seamless. You'll be able to have an amazing day knowing that all your guests are having a great time. It's going to raise conversations. And I promise you that they'll be talking about your wedding long after it's finished. Now, if you've ever been to a wedding, and I don't know if you've ever gone home from a wedding and then a year later talked about the wedding favors. Oh my God, that wedding favor at Laura's wedding was amazing. I still talk about it every single day. Can't say that I've really done that, unless it's like an amazing favor. What I can promise you is that, yeah, some people might forget my name, but what they won't forget is how they felt on your special day. And that's the idea of what magic can bring to a wedding. It's a slightly different approach. It's not what you might assume as the stereotypes. And I want to convey to that I'm a more modern approach to magic. My main interest is making sure your guests have a great day. And I want to create memories for you that will last a lifetime. And that's pretty much what it's about. And so look, for everybody that's watching now, just to let you know that I do have a very special offer for all of the people that have signed up to this weekend for the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. I've got a very special offer for the Truly Scrumptious virtual community of £100 off all of my packages. And if you are interested in that special offer, then DM me. I'm going to put up a little Zoom post in a second in these comments below. If you want to come join me straight after, then come join me. It'd be great to see you on there. I can answer any questions that you might have. And I'll even demonstrate a little bit of magic for you as well. But guys, and look, hope you're well. Hope you're safe. Hope you're enjoying your VE celebrations, the bank holiday weekend as best you can. And we'll speak to you soon. All right, guys. Take care. And wherever you are, stay safe. Bye-bye.